All right, Shalom, Shalom. Barakatah Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elder bishops here at Great Millstone. Shalom to you, brothers that's pushing the work and truth with all sincerity. Coming back at you, Lord willing, with an edifying lesson. The name of this lesson is The Elect are sealed with the Father and the Son's name before judgment. The elect are sealed with the Father and the Son's name before judgment, right? First off, I want to say that these groups who are basically lightly esteeming the Heavenly Father's name, making it of no importance, right? They're completely wrong, all right? And the scriptures plainly point out that the elect are going to have the name before salvation, before destruction, before judgment, all right? Because that name is going to act as an identifier, it's going to act as protection, okay? For the people and the nations of the world, they're going to know that, that the Lord has ownership over us, okay? And Yahweh Shem Yahushai in particular, they're going to know it, and it's going to be very distinct, okay? Um, because the Lord put his name on us, all right? So there's a reputation that we have, all right? And, you know, uh, the scriptures say it, Start here, Matthew 10 and 22, okay? All right? It says here, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, okay? Now, that was very prevalent during the time of the apostles. They forced them to stop speaking in the name, all right, because men were believing. Men were, snapping out of the deceptions of these false leaders, and they became believers, all right, because the name carried power. They were healing people in the name. All right, so what do you think is going to come this time? All right, this time, pretty much it's going to be the rest of the world, not just our own. Okay. And when Esau comes with persecution, all right, that's, the name is going to be, part of the reason why, we're being persecuted because we come in the name of our power. So they're going to know. All right. So Matthew 10 and 22, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. All right. And that's very prevalent for our time as well. Okay. Because we carry that name. Right? His name is upon us. As it says here, Numbers, I'm going to start at 22, but the point being is 7. Right? Then we get Deuteronomy 28 and 10 real quick. Right? Put this on standby. 28 and 10. So the scriptures clearly say we're going to be hated for his name. So we're going to have to, it's pointing out that we're going to know the name before salvation, before judgment takes place. They're going to know that that's Yahweh's people. That's Yahweh Bashem Yahushai people. Those are the children of Israel, and the name of their God is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And of course, Esau's going to try to persecute us and try to gaslight us for believing in those names. The same reason why is what even what our people do to us. Okay. So number 6 and 22, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying on this wise, Ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, The Lord Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee, unto thee. The Lord Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace, right? So the priests did it of old, all right, because they were commissioned from the Heavenly Father to do so, all right, to bless them in his name. Okay, so what do we do? Much of the same, and we agree with the name, okay, because through the Spirit, that's what we're supposed to be doing through the Spirit, okay. So verse 27, here's the point. It says, they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. Okay, moving on. All right, and then I want to point. I got had a point here in chat, and that's just asked it a quick question. All right, pretty gave me, it gave me a decent answer. So I'm I'm gonna use it. Deuteronomy 28:10, it says, and all people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord Yahweh, and they shall be afraid of thee. Okay, all right. Now, some might say that that's going to happen after judgment, and that's going to happen. No, that's not going to happen after judgment, because when the Lord lift up a standard against Esau, after them coming after us, they're going to know full well that we come in the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, when the Lord lifts a standard against them, they're going to know that we do miracles in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay. All right. And the world is going to know we're the people of the Heavenly Father, and He has ownership of us. Okay. And that's what also what that, Him putting His name on us, like a woman or a husband, his wife. Okay. The husband puts the name on his wife because what? It denotes, or it gives ownership. All right. So it says here, putting the name. So just I just plugged in number 6 and 27, and they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. What does it mean that the name of God is placed on them? All right, His people, Israel. Can you expound? So this is deeper than just saying God's name out loud. It's about identity. Okay, that's right, and that's important. All right, we don't just call ourselves by any old name. All right, or we not belong. We don't. It's very distinct who we belong to, or it should be. And Israel is supposed to be, pronouncing that, right? Authority, ownership, and spiritual marking. Let's break it down in layers so you can see the full weight of it. Putting the name, ownership, all right, and belonging. In the ancient world, to put your name on something meant it belonged to you, right? And you think the Heavenly Father's not going to, let it be known that we're His people? Okay, especially in the time, the very end. Deuteronomy 28:10, which basically what we just read. All people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord. All right. So I'm guessing that the screen is not showing. Okay, but we'll still go. We'll still keep going. All right. So it says this means Israel is publicly identified as God's people. They carry His reputation on earth like a seal or brand, not physical, but spiritual and conventional. All right. The name, all right, protection and covering. It says God's name acts like a spiritual hedge, all right, which we're going to kind of get to that. I'm going to hold off on that. But 4, it says the name, a priesthood act, blessing transmission is what we read in Numbers 6 and 22 to 27. Okay. And it says in number 6, this comes right after Aaron's blessing. All right, Numbers 6 and 24 to 26 says the priests weren't just speaking nice words, they were invoking God's presence, imprinting His covenant identity onto the people. And we do that through the Spirit now. Okay. We say Barakatah Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rakakadash Barakatah. And among the elect, that's a real thing. That's a very important thing, Okay. And it's something that we naturally do, okay, because it was passed down by our apostles and the elder bishops, okay, because that was something that the Spirit gave us, okay. So let's see here. I'm gonna have to start it over again. So